What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing fresh out there. Hope you're doing really fun. You know who this is, aka Celebrate, aka Little Brother to Mill 679. Back on that one, aka Sal Bali. You know that's me, Charlie Chocolate of old. Now, I just thought I'd come through. This got some. Hope everything's coming through fine. I should just still check it out on here. Do it on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not going to spend much time on my instrumentals and stuff, just to get you through it. Because today is the MahaShivratri Jagbambolu Chilnath Sivan, to the Ganja god of the Hindu South faith. So, you know, if people aren't familiar with that, I'll definitely get into it and you know, show you how it goes down. But yeah, I just can't see myself on YouTube yet. Continue to YouTube, yeah, it's not really coming up as yet. It'll take a bit of time maybe, but maybe it's the background music's too much for it, but it's all good. I'll wait. ST. We got City. We'll drop it out. You know that's why. You know that's one's nice. Peace out. Bye. See bye. We'll get away from that one. That's a bit too raw, this one, you know. So pump fresh, feeling fine. This is it. What it is, what it was. But for those two, okay, this is what I'll try and do. I'll go up in here and share it. So I want to make it concise, and so like, you know, don't want to waste people's time. But you can stay on here. Go to the whole screen, or we'll just tab. We'll just go to the tab for now. All right. So let's see where I'm at in the thing. Okay. All right. Should have my video. Okay. So this basically have I done for so MahaShivratri 2021. So the date falls on Thursday, the 11th of March. Right. So this is currently now. Where I'm at in Australia, we are at 9:52 p.m. on the 11th of March. People who are obviously in UK, you'd be coming up to the evening in the next 10 hours or so. And those in America, you'll probably be waking up to see this if you do come view, and be entering that tomorrow. So this would be some good advice, or some advice that you might want to take in, and, you know, some words. As what basically it's the same thing that I'm doing. This is an impromptu thing I heard from this. I'll put it through here. I'll bring it up. It was from the very well-known philosopher, speaker, or person that's Sadhguru. I think the new, you know. It's been around for I don't know. He's obviously been around for a long time with his life, but not to, you know, no disrespect. So Sadhguru, and we'll check I like a lot of his philosophies and the way he breaks down the analogies of life and things like that. But he was talking about the Shivratri of today, and what was quite interesting. What you should do, things you should be thinking of to do on the day, and I'll have to do it this way then. So it's not liking me at the moment, eh? It's a bit of a shame. Stop doing that. Stop sharing there. Come back to here. Hey, just make sure, you know, but go back to sharing. Share the screen. I should double check that I am going live, but it says I am live, but it didn't give me the chance to say continue to YouTube. Yes, please. But, So I'm on an iMac at the moment, and usually I could be on laptop, but it's all G. So go back to here. No, it's just weakened out. So what I'm gonna do? Share the screen. See, it's happened again. Wanted to come through with something decent, and then no. Alright, Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Follow these steps. But I don't want to take Chrome because Chrome ain't listening. Oh, come on, man. Because basically what he'd said is like, okay, but you're not, to basically, the headline of it was not to sleep on this day, on this night of March 11th. And it is basically just like, if I can get it up, it'd be great. Oh, here we go, maybe taking this time, but so let's think about it. Yeah, just have to think about it for a little while. Hopefully the stream is coming through nicely. I'm not even sure, but hey, Chrome stop. That's all good. Look, mate. Okay. Excuse me about this, everybody. So, what's going on? I've got like supposed to be on 5G, like hang on a sec. Sorry, everybody. Man, this is not very good. This is disappointing to me. Now, so well, anyway, I'll sum that up. Then I'll have to sum it up, and there's no pictures here that I can give it off because it's not allowing me to come across with it. Well, this one is. So let's see if this is active. This window. No, now it just wants to stop all of a sudden. It's too much because it's only got 8 gig RAM. It's got an SSD, but the other laptop's got 16 gig RAM with a HDD, but that works fine. Might have to go get on that and come across, but I don't know why. So they're working. Sorry to everybody out there on the YouTube world. Okay, so supposedly that's thinking about where it's going. It's taking its time on the 5G network. Yeah, it won't even let me. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Don't end it yet. It says I'm live, but hey, I can't get into YouTube. Note that there's 10 seconds. I see this kind of site can't be reached. What's going on? I'm having some difficulty. I want to. Get some Wi-Fi or get some reception. Connection is really good if you do. Right now, everything just had to reboot itself, and I don't know. Okay, here we are. Here I am. Alright, so definitely just sorry about all of that. We got 10 minutes here wasted. I should probably take this one down and start again, but it's not the way we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Let's see. Okay, so this was what I was coming at. Now let's see how I can do this. So I'm gonna go back into peace to everyone out there, man. Thanks everybody if someone just came through. Oh, and then they just lopped out. So G was finally working. Okay. Finally working. So I don't want to hear this fella's ass. Luckily muted. This is all for commentary purposes too.
Is of both spiritual and scientific significance. Shivratri means the 14th day. MahaShivratri is of both spiritual and scientific significance. Shivratri means the 14th day of every month, that is one day before Amavasya or the no moon day. There are 12 to 13 Shivaratris in a year. Of all the Shivaratris, the Shivaratri that appears in the month of Magha during February-March is known as the MahaShivratri or the Great Night of Shiva. In the northern hemisphere on this planet, on that day, there is a natural upsurge of energy within the human system. Every life form experiences a certain upsurge of energies within themselves. This upsurge of energies can be truly made use of only by those creatures who have their spine erect. Our fortune of being human is we are the only species here who have graduated to that level of an erect spine. If you look at the evolutionary development of various species, you will notice that moving from invertebrate to vertebrate is one significant step. And another significant step in the evolutionary process is a spine moving from horizontal positions to vertical position. The true development of the brain happened only after the spine became vertical. As on MahaShivratri night, there is a natural upsurge of energies. Keeping the spine vertical throughout the night has immense benefits. It is of great benefit, particularly to those on the spiritual path. But this is also significant for people who are in family situations and also for the ambitious in the world. For those on the spiritual path, for the yogis, this is the day when Shiva transcended all the movement within himself and became utterly, absolutely still. On this day, his third eye opened and his perception blossomed. What we are saying is these two eyes are sense organs. They can show you the physical realities around you. But if you want to see the basis of this reality, if you want to see the subtler reality which is beyond the physicality of nature, if you want to know this, you need another dimension of perception. The dimension of perception, which is beyond the physical, is known as the third eye. So this is the day which facilitates your journey towards the opening of your third eye or a deeper dimension of perception within yourself.
If you give me 35 seconds, I'm going to share.
So, yeah, I mean, if you got that came through, that's pretty interesting for those who did hear that. Like for me, I can't see the obviously it was interesting in the sense that we'll just have to get rid of this. Okay, so I'll probably replay that actually. Am I still sharing it? Oh no. Well, sorry about that, I'll bring it back up. Because how we were saying, those in the northern hemisphere who are keeping their spine erect will be feeling this vibrational change on this date of March 11th. So it will be enhanced or something rather than that in so we'll go through that again. And I was just because it triggered to me because I'm in Australia here, being in the southern hemisphere. So do I not feel any?
On that day, there is
so we'll just
both spiritual and scientific significance. Shivratri means the 14th day of every month, that is one day before Amavasya or the no moon day. There are 12 to 13 Shivaratris in a year. Of all the Shivaratris, the Shivaratri that appears in the month of Magha during February-March is known as the MahaShivratri or the great night of Shiva. In the northern hemisphere on this planet, on that day, there is a natural upsurge of energy within the human system. Every life form experiences a certain upsurge of energies within themselves. This upsurge of energies can be truly made use of only by those creatures who have their spine erect. Our fortune of being human is we are the only species here who have graduated to that level of an erect spine. If you look at the evolutionary development of various species, you will notice that moving from invertebrate to vertebrate is one significant step. And another significant step in the evolutionary process is a spine moving from horizontal positions to vertical positions. The true development of the brain happened only after the spine became vertical. As on MahaShivratri night, there is a natural upsurge of energies. Keeping the spine vertical throughout the night has immense benefits. It is of great benefit, particularly to those on the spiritual path. But this is also significant for people who are in family situations and also for the ambitious in the world. For those on the spiritual path, for the yogis, this is the day when Shiva transcended all the movement within himself and became utterly, absolutely still. On this day, his third eye opened and his perception…
So I guess, yeah, so there, basically he'd be saying, as he was trying to say, it's only those they who would be receiving these powers are those who are aligned, you know, in that pure sense, in the full directional sense of utmost clarity and contentment, consistency, and just knowing of being. And so as he's going here, as they're saying, so but for those how it did fall in, he's saying for those on the spiritual path, could be or ambition people, but it falls in for anyone going through family tribulations, going through school, whatever it is, you've got to on that thought wave, think of your direction and go forth. And you have to be, as they say, on the ball or completely on top of your game, but it's interesting how he said that those in the northern hemisphere will experience this
perception blossomed. What we are saying is these two eyes are sense organs. They can show you the physical realities around you. But if you want to see the basis of this reality, if you want to see the subtler reality which is beyond the physicality of nature, if you want to know this, you need another dimension of perception. The dimension of perception, which is beyond the physical, is known as the third eye. So this is the day which facilitates your journey towards the opening of your third eye or a deeper dimension of perception within yourself.
Well, you check that out. I mean, that's for everybody who heard that, who takes that out there, who listen, whichever way it will be. And I should have taken a long time. I've already been up here for 20 minutes and I wrote all this. So, this was someone I came across. So, don't give me any more ads from this. But
my name's Chad, and this is my 15-year-old daughter, Bethany. And if you watch to the end of this video…
If on that night, if you lie down, this means when the energies are trying to move like this, you're kind of obstructing it. It is not only that you lose the benefit, you could also harm yourself. So, we created what is called as jagaran. That means to stay alert and to stay erect. In India,
There are 365 festivals in a year. Almost every Indian festival is connected to the calendar, what's happening in the solar system. We want to do something which is conducive for what's happening that day in the rest of the solar system. Why this is important is because what you call as my body right now, what is human mechanism, has come out of this planet. So everything that happens to the solar system happens to you in some way. So there is a very keen observation of what is happening in the solar system today. Accordingly, we have crafted one kind of celebration and we do those specific things. So on MahaShivratri night, to cut it short, because this is an elaborate subject what you opened up, on that day, which doesn't fall on the same calendar, the regular modern calendar date, this particular day, after the solstice happens in December, 22nd of December is the winter solstice. After that, the planetary precession is such that there is a natural upsurge on that particular night in a very big way. If on that night, if you lie down, this means when the energies are trying to move like this, you're kind of obstructing it. It is not only that you lose the benefit, you could also harm yourself in a very sensitive way. All these things matter to you only when you want to be a full-fledged human being. When I say a full-fledged human being, you want every faculty that can be opened up in the human being, you want it to be opened. Not if you are that kind, by evening you're drunk and sleeping, what is there also you want to kill it, that's up to you. But if you want to be a full-fledged human being, you want to full-scale everything happening to you, you observe all these small changes that happen in the system and take care of that. So you want to sit straight, you want your spine to be erect on that night. When energies are moving upward, you want to help it further go up, not like this. So we created what is called as Jagaran, that means stay alert and to stay erect. How to keep people erect? So that night we have a celebration from evening 6 to morning 6, 12 hours non-stop, music, dance, meditation, various things being done so that everybody stays alert. So, it's grown that big because people find the benefit of what it is. You do one thing on that night without getting drunk or drugged, just sit alert. You don't like celebration, so you simply sit like this. It's up to you.
MahaShivratri is very significant for people who are on the spiritual path. It is also very significant for people who are in family situations and also for the ambitious in the world. People who live in family situations observe MahaShivratri as Shiva's wedding anniversary. Those with worldly ambitions see that day as the day Shiva conquered all his enemies. But for the ascetics, it is the day he became one with Mount Kailash. He became like a mountain, absolutely still. In the yogic tradition, Shiva is not worshipped as a god, but considered as the Adi Guru, the first Guru from whom the science of yoga originated. After many millennia in meditation, one day he became absolutely still. That day is MahaShivratri. All movement in him stopped and he became utterly still. So, ascetics see MahaShivratri as the night of
Okay. Yeah, much peace, everybody. Come back to those out there. Thank you
If
for
you
everyone
want to
who's come
gain
through
control
joining in.
over your income
I'll
as a fitness
stop
trainer,
this
then
going off.
listen up.
Don't
In this
wanna
video, I will change the way you look at launching or scaling your online.
Yeah, that's cool, but that's very good. And so, well, I guess I'll do this. And then, yeah, so what I was interested in that, they've gone, Mars gone, maybe. Um, but yeah, I was interested in hearing what he would have said about that comment because now he's currently in Europe um, and the Northern Hemisphere. So he could give his thought to that um, thing. But obviously, he thinks he's a fake guru. So there was a comment of sad horror. So he left. That's all right. I think I'm going to try and keep this streaming though, as they all say, and I'll keep going through. Like how that was my intention and plan. So you know. Oh, okay. It was an autoplay. That's why I kept going. Okay, but yeah. So I mean, all intentions, all rights reserved to all those reserved. Obviously reserved to. I could bring up my one. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can come up, brother. I'd love to hear if you come up and click the link, man. You can have your say. Like I feel that I sometimes watch him because I like the I don't know in a format of how we perceive life today, and he's trying to fit in all the it just kind of does it for the as they say the layman's terms, So I mean I resonate with a few. I still say I resonate with like a lot of things that he does put down because he's very calm. And I'm down with Shiva, most definitely, the Gunji God, man. So, and like that's occupies most definitely. Um, can't be. And what he was saying, and it's interesting because he was saying on this night, March 11th, with this MahaShivratri, the vibrational force of going upwards in energy. It, So my spines should be like erect and things like this. We should be staying up on this night, but people in the northern hemisphere are feeling more enhanced. So it was interesting of how you would be feeling that sense of thing because you are in Europe. I'm in doing down in the South Australia. I mean, yeah, South Australia, in Australia. So, but that's cool. That's cool. I might. What do I do? I'll do this one and then this one and come back. So, um, okay. So is that the only people come up, my brother? Talk, man. We used to talk before. Or you'd be busy. If you're busy at the moment, I understand. Um, but because this is his discussion saying, "Ma, we're not on the ball. He's a liar." So, but that's with um, I mean, either way, I suppose, because even that, like I was saying, his thoughts and theories on life and how it attains to us and how we can put it to use and prosper and have some like uh, positive, progressive type, prosperous longevity, motion, energy, vibration, and thought of direction. And he breaks it down in a way that we can physically try and see step by step how we'll do it in this reality of our this life experience. So those are the parts that I like to resonate with when he does, puts down because the poems don't say, whether or not the world is flat or um, it's round. End of the day, what difference does it make to what is going to be at the end of, the production of the day? And thanks to Ma, he's come up, man. So I'm going to bring him up to the stream right now. Much peace,
Yo,
brother.
Sunray, long time not seen.
Yeah, brother.
Long time not heard or talk.
Say it again.
Long time we didn't talk. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
So I'm glad you come through, man. I'm very, appreciate. So, and I seen a few of your streams, like that you posted, and I've seen you've been posting lately. But
No,
is that
it's
yourself
not
there?
That's me, yes, on the picture.
Yeah, my friend, he just fell actually. I'll get the mask soon. I usually have a friend with the mask. But so anyway, we'll stay on a bit of the topic, man. So like, do you see that man a lot, or you just think that he's just one of the many gurus that are fake?
Like many gurus, he's a rich man guru. Sunray, he's not a poor man guru. Like many gurus, he's a rich man guru. So if you have money, you can listen to this man talk for hours. And if you don't have money, you don't get help by this man because he live in a palace.
True. He lives in the ashram, or he.
Not
I just
true,
suppose
true. He wears jewelry and he dresses up like a woman. Yes, it's all true.
Where's my?
So this is a fake
that's,
guru.
I mean, that's a good thought. I mean, that's
He's
how
not
I
a true teacher.
Pardon?
You say what?
Keep going.
I say he's a liar. He's not a real truth seeker. He's just promoting his kind of yoga, his kind of teachings. But it's based on lies, based on deception, based on hypocrisy.
Okay.
It's might be good ideas to share love, to be peaceful, to be attentive, to listen to people. But this man is always talking and he's not listening to people and he acts like he knows everything. That's not a good situation.
I see what
Someone who claims to know every wisdom and is very intelligent and has a long beard to show he's very wise. No, it's a joke.
I don't think
This man is a
I don't
joke.
think he. I don't know if he. Yeah. Wait, the thing like he. I don't. If you would ask him, I don't think he claims to know everything. I think a lot of people just they give him that glory, and they give him that energy, and then they go and ask him the question, well, how is it done, because they believe so. Excuse me, because I don't any wise man realizes that they don't know anything. You know what I mean? The more they know, the more they realize that they don't know anything. There's so much that they don't know about life. You hear that's a very common term.
He popped up on my screen like 4 or 5 years ago, this man. But I think he's a joke, Sunray. I think he's just pretending to be a guru, to have the love, to share wisdom. But in reality, his teachings are not to redisperse wealth. No, his teaching is to have class, to have rich and to have poor. This man, he thrives on this.
Well, yeah.
And then he teaches you have to pray for this and pray for that so you can get saved and you get some money and you get some income. No, that's all bullshit. You have a failed society and this man is acting like it's not society that's failing, but it's you and your religion with God. And that's how I see it.
Yeah, no.
Because the summer solstice, the solstice, it's a 24-hour, become 12-hour light, 12-hour dark. It's a perfect harmony between summer and winter. You have 12 hours light, 12 hours dark. The sun rises perfectly in the east and will set perfectly in the west. That's the solstice. And it's not in every country on the same day, on the same hour, on the same time. No, the solstice changes from where you are living. And this, he's not talking about this. No, he's acting like you're living on a world ball, huh? Like you're living on a globe. But on a globe, every solstice would be on the same time. Huh? But this is not reality. Huh? You have places where they have solstice earlier, and you have places where they have solstice later in the world.
Did you hear the point where I was saying, like, because what I was interested in, why I did this whole, why I put this stream up, is because I saw, he did a little video saying, and I showed it earlier, that people in the northern hemisphere are going to be receiving this vibration like a bit more. So it'd be interesting as
when
you
you're talking about,
you to come up with your over there.
When you're talking about a hemisphere, you're talking about a globe, man. You're talking like you know you live on a globe, and so you're spreading bullshit to people who are not aware of their flat Earth. Huh?
Oh, okay,
I
see.
Who never received any flat Earth cosmology. Huh? Like it never happened in the past. People, they knew about the flat Earth. Huh? No, this man, he pretends like there's a northern hemisphere. Huh? While you know this is bullshit. Huh? So it's just a popular guru pretending to live on a globe, and you have to pray for this god or this god. He will give you perfect energy, blah, blah, blah. I think it's all bullshit. It's all Shiva. He's a perfect meditation. Huh? It's a god. He's a perfect meditation, and he can be perfect still. Huh? When you practice meditation, you will get better in it. Huh? And you will be able to stay 24 hours on the same position, and you don't have to move. Huh? So that's not what he's teaching. Huh? He's not teaching Shiva. Huh? He's not teaching meditation. No, he's just talking like a few weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks before the solstice is there, they're coming with their propaganda. Huh? Why wasn't he talking about this a half year ago? And why he's now just 1 week before talking about it, or 2 weeks before? Because it's a propaganda. It's organized to come out at the right time. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this date of MahaShivratri is something that is calculated and and yeah, I don't know.
You don't know, Sunray, but I was predicting the Great Conjunction a year before it happened. I was already predicting there's going to be a Great Conjunction. And just like always, the media, only 1 week, 2 weeks before, they start talking about it. So who really experienced the Great Conjunction? Not many people, they know it even happened. So it's the same now. The solstice, how many people really aware this is gonna happen? Really aware what is going on? Why is the sun only 12 hours light, 12 hours dark on that day, and only on that day? Not because you live on a globe.
So I was just checking the thing. Where did you? I missed what you just last said.
You say what?
Nothing. I missed.
I should repeat it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe apart from that, well, how's other things been over in Belgium?
It's very bad, man.
Bad situation, is it?
Bad situation, yeah. It's very bad. It's now 1 year, we're on the restrictions.
1 year of major restrictions for COVID.
Well, 1 year they started last year in March with the Corona lockdowns. And from December, we cannot go out in the night. In the night, we are all locked in our houses from 12 till 5, about, or half 6. So we have night curfew. And in the big cities like Brussels, they have night curfew going from 10 o'clock in the night. The people cannot go outside. And already from
then,
December, almost 3 months.
so what about the supposed infection rate and death rate? Has it been in control, or it's been supposedly going up? Or?
Well, like many of these European countries, they claim there was a big wave, like in November, and that was a period like they had new infections, like 2,000 infections a day, 20,000 in one day, and that's why they called it a wave. You know, like they were more than normal. And apart from that time, we just have like 2,000 new cases every day or something like this. Huh? But it makes like we had a wave, so we're still in lockdown. We're still having to comply with strange regulations to not go out in the night. And it's the same like you are preventing people from seeing the stars in the winter because nobody went outside. Nobody could see or could talk together about the night sky. So it's really censoring the people in their essence, this lockdown in Belgium. People, they get tired of it, Sunray. They're not happy, people wearing
How is
masks
the
every
economy
day,
going? How
to the
many?
shop.
What about the people? The work? Like how much work has been stopped, or you know what I mean? As people still going to work, or
And the
everybody?
pubs, they are closed. The schools, they are closed. It's a bad situation.
Wow. For 1 year, it's been going like that.
No, not
12
1 year, but from December, we're again in a
from
lockdown.
December.
But it's 1 year in this situation from things closing. And like night shops, they have to close at 10 o'clock in the night. If you don't have cigarettes, you don't have cigarettes. If you don't have milk, you don't have milk. You're locked in your house. This is not a good situation, because don't tell me in the night when you are going for a night shop, you will get corona. Don't tell me this bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Me, I did a lot of
That's
things,
that's a good
research
point.
about. I did a lot of research about the corona, and I have three proofs of how you call it, that they prepared this coronavirus. I have 3 evidences, 3 proofs. The first proof is the World Military Games in Wuhan. You ever hear about this, Sunray?
No, I haven't yet.
So before Corona was outbreak in Wuhan, there was a big international World Military Games in Wuhan, in China. And every country sent their military there to fight for Olympics, you know. But most people in the world, they don't know there was in Wuhan a big world military game before Corona. That's point number 1. Point number 2, in Brussels, there was a global vaccination summit in 2019, September, before Corona. And who was there? The World Health Organization, the Queen of Belgium, all the scum. They were together and they were plotting. Instead, they say in God we trust, they say in vaccinations we trust. Yes, and they were plotting to globally vaccinate everybody. Because they believe this vaccination, it causes health. That this vaccination will give everybody health. But it's just big pharma getting their hands together and wanting to do it for everybody in the whole world, you know, vaccinate the children. So that's point number 2. So the Global Vaccination Summit 19, before Corona. And you already see on that billboard, you see the coronavirus depicted. So it's clear that one also is predicting what will happen in the future. And then the third point is the event 201. Maybe that one you hear about, Sonray?
Yeah.
So the event 201 was a global pandemic exercise. Also, it occurred before coronavirus hit, where the World Health Organization, together with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they put their hands together and they were working out a simulation for if ever a big coronavirus hit. And they were pretending like the world was infected. It was a simulation. And a few months later, this corona suddenly appeared. Yeah? So 3 points that show clearly that in Wuhan, China, there was World Military Games, that in Brussels there was a global vaccination summit, and there in America there was an event 201 for simulating a world government ruling the people to protect them from the outbreak.
That's, yeah, man, that's some good breakdown and observation. Not good,
And most people, they don't know about it.
You know, sort of. Yeah, I mean, it's
And
a
then
major
how
thing.
it was introduced, Sonray, how they introduced the thing. It was happening in China, and there was virus. People, they were falling in the streets, dying. They depicted this illness like there was a big illness that people, you get it, and 24 hours later you're already dead. But this is not the case. No, it's all fear monger. And after the corona, you ever hear about China, about corona? No. Now you have corona. I have corona. The whole America have corona, but you don't hear anymore about corona in China.
I haven't been following. I mean, it's good to hear to hear the point of Belgium, but you're sad to hear the suffering you're going through.
Tanzania is the only country where corona is not. Tanzanian president, together with his military staff, they say, no, there's no corona in Tanzania. And they get criticized by the Western governments, like, oh, there's people dying there and they don't do anything for the people. But you know, this whole corona is a hoax. It's a planned pandemic. It's a fear hoax. Because, for example, Sonray, they are saying there's new infections. For example, in my country, 2,000 new infections. What kind of number are you giving me? When you say there's 2,000 infections, you don't give me any numbers. You're just playing mind games. Because how many tests did you take and how many people are infected? That is the real issue. Not just how many people are infected. No, how many tests did you take and how many are infected? You understand? Sonray?
Yeah, still. And then, I mean, will you even get to know the
2,000 is no number if you don't know how many tests they were taking. For example, if there were 100,000 tests taken and only 2,000 they come positive, then you have a number. But just say to people there's 2,000 new infections makes them crazy, because tomorrow you can test the same people and again you have 2,000 infections. Right or wrong?
Right, yeah.
So these are bullshit statistics, and Bill Gates is known to be on a photograph with the book How to Lie with Statistics.
Yeah, But that's a good point you broke out actually on the Tanzanian president, man. I think I wasn't aware of that. That that's the only country that in the world that is declaring. But I should research that out. That's a good point.
About what? Sorry, I don't hear you or understand you 100%.
How you said the president of Tanzania
Yes, they
is
rejected.
declaring no corona.
Hello? The only one, the only country in the whole world, man.
Mm.
All the rest, they are playing the games with the population, and you know they don't really care about your health. It's just a power game. They don't care about people, their health.
Mm.
Or do you think your government cares about your health regionally? Do you really think that? Or do you think how they are planning to make billions with Shell and Texaco and Esso and all these oil companies? Yes, that's what they are planning.
I mean, it's happening pretty much daily. You know,
we are in a world with a very international energy market. So the ones who have the solar power technology, who have the big windmills, they are putting them everywhere. But this energy generated is not to give to the people. No, it's to make trading with the people. So these energy companies, they are worldwide. Like that time Costa Rica had not an earthquake, but like a storm come over, and many electricity poles, they were damaged. So America made a good deal, so many billions for one company to do all the electrics on that island. So this is mega business. People are still not supplying their own energy or having rights to choose how they live. No, we are stuck in a grid.
Yeah. I mean, but that's cool, man. I mean, how about, I suppose, the fact that are you've done some uploads and things, and you like to do your artistic sort of photography and things like that. So I'm just thinking. Let me finish, President. In the time that the because not to always harp on the negative side. Like I think that in the time that you have been on lockdown as a creative, my point of view anyway, it gives a chance, and for everybody, if because it gives you time to write a diary or draw pictures or take photos or do what you do your little hobbies, man. Big shout out to B1 for life, man. Back to you. Good morning to you. Where you at, man? Thanks for coming through. Things pinned in the chat, man. If you want to come up, but yeah, like, have you been able? Did you find have you done that over December? To the last few months, have you? I mean, you have. I've seen you uploaded more streams and stuff, but have you been doing, like anything more creative?
Well, since January, I'm again able to live stream since January. So I'm trying to make some live streamings to compose some films together, but it's not really working for me, the YouTube. I have 238 subscribers and it doesn't change. I have contact with maybe 10 people or maximum 20. But this is really narrow. So it's not really good for me, the YouTube, and I'm not growing and I don't feel support with this channel. And I think many people, they feel the same, like they are offering something, but they don't get the appreciation, which normally is grow naturally. No, you do this, and every time it's like, are you going to get some people?
Say that
Excuse
again,
me?
brother.
Well, every time you live stream, it's like it's a gamble how many people will actually arrive. Sometimes I live stream, there's nobody coming to my live stream. There's nobody active. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a good situation on the YouTube. If you look up flat Earth, you don't get any real results. I remember the time when you were searching on YouTube, you had pages. You had page 1 until page 33, for example. Now you have one scroll page, and it loads when you end the page. So all these searches are manipulated, and they are popularized. So you don't find your search when you're typing something, you even type it good, you get the commercial solutions. So we are buried, we are getting buried. For example, if you look for
it depends how you take it, brother. It depends how, like, you know,
if you look for pictures from
consistently
the
going to
moon,
say,
for
"Oh,
example,
it's all over, it's finished, it's all over, we're finished, it's all over, everything's negative," then that proximity is most likely going to be your outcome. But if you got to, you know, think of the more positive, the other pathway. What's the other
I'm
way?
just talking
Other
about the
perspective.
algorithm, Sonny. The algorithm makes you buried within all this commercial information on the YouTube. Before you didn't have all those news channels wanting to post on the YouTube. Now there's maybe thousands of people posting things about the moon when they're not even filming the moon, but they say they have a moon picture. You type in moon and you look what they are showing you on the YouTube, and you will see there's not much moon pictures. So don't tell me that your search engine is correct. The search engine is manipulated so you don't find what you're searching for. Like before. And the results, they get all pushed into one page, and that you don't even know how many search results you get. And I'm not saying that
definitely
we're going to die
predicted
from this
what
and
the
that. We're not going to make something. No, I'm just saying how it changes and how we are getting censorized and locked in a grid with certain people. Like everywhere I go, all the channels I visit, it's always the same people I see. That's not a coincidence. No, it's because they are putting people together and cooks.
Who? Cooks. They're putting together and cooks.
Yeah, they're putting people together in cooks.
Cooks. Okay, or crooks. I'm not understanding what you're trying to really say. I don't really.
Like a grid. They put you in one grid. So then you find those people, always the same people, but you don't find new elements. While normally, if you go on the internet, it's the idea you find new elements every day and you grow every day. Not you get locked and cooked. Like this, like UEP, for example.
But that would be up to yourself, brother.
Yeah, like UEP, he makes a very nice song, but you see, this is not booming. The message don't get spread.
What do you mean it's not like, well, it's not booming though? Because it is, you should have said he makes a very great song. So obviously it is booming, so it's fat, it's pumping to you when you hear it.
The only way UEP is growing is by keep pushing for the live streams, is by keep going live, by keep doing the 6 to 10 hours. You know, that's how it.
But what is your expectation though? What is your expectation? See, this is the thing. This is what I was saying about you got to put in the consistent effort, consistent work, consistent content, you know, and it's got to be of something that's going to be attracting the audience. And you just got to be going live with it consistently, right? Like, but, you know, I don't know.
For example, in Sunray,
I don't know why you're
So,
always getting on the negative effort of it.
for
You know what I
example,
mean?
Sonny, you know Craigslist in America?
I think Craigslist all over the world, but like I don't know. I don't
Well,
really
it's like a secondary hand market on the internet, for example. And like in Belgium, we had Capaza, and it's the same. It's like a secondary hand market before in Belgium, where people who had things to give could post their things, and so other people come collect free or for very low things, for very low price. They could come collect goods. But then a commercial entity took over this secondary hand market, and now everything is commercialized. So people who are, for example, wanting to sell secondary hand market products, now them are showing their products. You understand the difference, Henri? So instead, before you had a lot of things you find secondary hand on the internet from your own country. Now you have too much things you find to tempt you, to show like there's something for sale, but it's not really for sale. No, it's just a picture to show like there's much things for sale, but in reality, there's nothing for sale. They're just showing you pictures. And when you want to buy something, you don't find the normal people anymore like before. No, you only find those commercial entities who post their new products or secondary hand products every day in tenfolds. Like all those news agencies who post their videos every day in tenfolds. So how you can compete or how you can have your say when you get buried with this commercial entity? No, you don't find any good products secondary hand in Belgium anymore in this new market. And the housing market is the same. They have all these houses, garages for sale, but in reality, it's all a scam. They're not for sale. They're just putting a price on a house to make you believe there's something you can gain. But once you go try to buy a house or try to buy the garage, you will see that they want you to bid against other people to get a higher price for themselves. You understand how they trick
Yeah,
people into fake markets? And the same with jobs. You want to find the jobs in
yeah.
Belgium?
Like, but
There's
why you
10,000 jobs on
why
the
focus on
internet, but you don't find
like
one. That's
why you
not
get so
normal, eh?
agitated and aggravated at the negative point of that? You can see it. You just broke it down completely. Like, you know, but then you just like continuously on every fact. So why did you try and see the do the
I
you
think
know
it's
at
just a
least
bad week for me, Sonre.
because
I have
stress
some
is a
problem
killer,
with the
bro.
girl.
Stress is a killer. I will tell you that.
I have some
You know,
problems with the girl, and I feel a little frustrated.
pardon.
That I have some troubles with some female, with a girl, and it makes me a little bit frustrated. It's not your fault. It's not that fault, but I'm just a little bit agitated myself. Sorry to say.
Always lie.
With a girl, I have problems with my mother. It's not a good situation for me. Life, jobs, housing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get locked in a grid. I live in the same apartment for 12 years. I don't find a way out of poverty. I don't find a way out of this misery. It's not fun, huh, Sunray? When you're almost
Well,
40 years old and you don't
you've
have
got a
your own
house.
home
You've got
yet.
a place. You've got a permanent place. You can get it. I mean, you know, at least you still had that place for 12 years. That's one, and
Yes,
you know, come on, man.
and
Like
in
some
1 year,
people
they will start rebuilding here. So we will have too much noise in 1 year. Yes, they're all planning this. While
too
we are
much
living here,
noise.
they're going to start
First
building.
world problems. First world problems. My neighbor is building a mansion, a second story. Like, come on, man. That's not really like, you know, that very problematic. You're still existing. you can do your power, your sense to your full power and your capability, whatever you want to do, instead of just
For
focusing on
example,
the noise, focusing on the
no,
noise that's going on outside with the jackhammers and
no,
shit.
it's
The
daily.
guys
It's
breaking
daily
down.
because stalking. It's
I
stalking and
know
it's
it will
daily.
be. It will be there daily for 6 months until they build it, until they finish building it, right? So it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? And if you're gonna sit there and just watch it happen and be angry at it, well, fuck, that's cool. And at the same point, then you just progressed and done nothing.
It's
Whereas,
not per se I'm angry about it, Sunray. I feel just frustrated this time. I don't feel a happy situation at all. There's too much things which makes me worry when they infantilize adult people like they are babies or children. And when your own mother and your own father, they don't even have a say. And you understand that you are living this life and that when it's your time to be fully adult, you are still like a fucking child and you don't have nothing to say. So they mess around with you. Huh?
say that again. Who's got nothing to say?
If you're 40 years old and your society has no ear to listen, then they are fooling around with your rights. Huh? Same like if you're 40 years old and you still don't have a house, then it means that the situation of that country doesn't permit you to easily get a house. Huh? And I think I already told you about my past, maybe something about my grandfather had a big farm, and my great grandfather, he built housings, and all these housings from my great grandparents and my grandparents, they all been stolen from me in my life. So I have reasons to be frustrated. Sunray. And for example, now the borders, they are locked. So in Belgium, it's not really fully legal to smoke marijuana. So before people, they passed the border to bring us. But now these borders are closed. All these situations, they become more. I say before, people, they go for marijuana across the border, like 50 miles and back,
To Holland.
But now,
from Holland to
Holland,
Belgium.
yes, to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But now
yes,
this is Corona. We can't even go to Holland. So there's a big problem to getting volumes of marijuana to our city. So this whole city, the cafes are closed and people don't have find a smoke. It's a bad situation. Huh?
I mean, that happened all over the world.
That's what you understand. Voila, it's happening all over the globe the same. People, they don't find what they used to find.
Yeah.
So I feel frustrated, but I'm all right.
If you're
I will
breaking that
survive.
down, if you broke that down in a generational sense, like if you were to the people who are now 13 or even younger doing school, just like till primary school in the middle age and exposed to these sort of drugs. And if you think back and what substances they would be exposed to now as in comparison to what was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, 40 years ago, around all these regions. And it would be so, and then you keep breaking that down into I think it'd be quite amazing to see the health, uh, the detriment it did to the humanity, and how things became more potent and then harmful. Not potent, more harmful. People, things were more pure and potent and natural and good, but then they became more synthetic and different things were created which were harmful. That's kind of crazy because what is now exactly like what are the people getting now? They are gonna get what they whatever's out there, but it has changed. I think.
I think one of my most frustrations, Sunray, is that we don't have vision for the future, how this is going to progress. That's one of my big frustrations, that you don't know how it's going to be next year. We are in this lockdown with all these new rules and regulation, but in a way, you don't know how this is going to progress. And this is something I really dislike. That you don't have a future, you don't have a how you call it, you don't have a vision, you don't have a future, you cannot see where you're going as a people. It frustrates me because people, they shouldn't be in this situation. They don't know where they're going. They shouldn't be in that situation. It's not a healthy situation to not know where you're coming from and to not where you're going.
Wait a minute, say that again. I missed that. Who decides that? Who decides where you're going to know where you
Well,
come
for
from?
example, we started with this night lockdown from December. Now we are March, and they are still evaluating. So you don't know where this is going. They don't say we will do this until that day and then we will finish. No, they keep this rolling. Like it's never gonna end. While if I know this is gonna end, I would be very happy. It's 1 year, yes, but make it end in 1 year. Don't make it last 5 years, man. Because there will be nothing left.
Nah, man. I think I don't know. Like, yeah, you be hopping on the like too much, man. Come on, bro. Like, be more positive, bro, about your things.
Yeah, I don't have any children. And Sunray, that's my
I mean, we
positivity.
all
I
going through
don't have
stresses.
any
We all
children,
have
and I don't
stresses.
have to put
See,
children
don't
in this
start
mess
yelling
with
into
us.
the microphone, bro. Do that. Like, don't start,
No, it's
like,
my microphone. I have to talk loud because it's a bad microphone. Sorry, I talk loud, but that's the way I have to talk in this microphone, Sunray. Because if I talk silent, it doesn't go good.
pick it up. No, I'm not sure what you're saying, man. It's all G. And like, I'm
It's a
not the one
tablet.
to give you all the answers either. Like, and I have things to go on, But I'm more like,
Yeah,
shit,
and that
man.
guru, he
We all
certainly doesn't
facing
have the answers.
problems. You're interrupted, man. Like, we're all facing problems and stuff. Like, but these are what you're talking about first. As I said, I've said it again. I'll say it again. First world problems. Um, you know what I mean? Like, as we're living in a great, like, you've got everything, all the amenities and all these things and conveniences of life around you, and everything's at a very high standard. But then these things still remain your life discontent. You know what I'm saying? Like, little things will frustrate you. But you've got everything around, like, you know what I mean, around you, which is supposedly been created to your convenience and to make you be prosper. You know what I mean? Be the best and create
Yeah.
more.
For example, Sunray, there's already proven the link between children's suicide and school stress. That's already been proven. Like it's already
Yeah, I
been
said that
proven.
before. Stress kills. That's why I'm saying you should calm. Like, that's why we
Yeah, but
calm
it's not
down,
me
man.
killing the children. It's the school killing children. Yes. And for example, it's already been proven the link between suicide of adult people and judicial decisions. So they go to court, they had a bad case, and they commit suicide, or they end up
Yes.
with debts, or they become homeless. Yes, that link has already been proven. I don't have to prove that link. Your society is not a good society. And the people who are arranging or ruling the courts, they're not good people. And justice is fake. It's a judicial alphabet. It's a judicial discussion. It costs you money, but you don't get justice. For example,
Right.
all those parents going for a divorce, they didn't get a stimulus check when they divorced. And the children, they don't get a real good right system to see both parents. Like the Jamaican says, many kids, they don't catch a case, and they get locked up 18 years old for stupid mistake they make as a child. They call that youth care.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
man,
the
it
reality.
happens.
It's a prison mentality. Prison. Let's build another prison. Let's build another psychiatry. 80 million euros for 400 people. While you could build 400 homes, you'd rather build prisons. Now all homes are empty and all prisons are full. It's not a good society, Sonray. Sorry to say, but I don't lose hope, but it's kind of a hopeless situation.
It is what it is, man. That's why, like, you gotta take your position on the. It's it's an up and down. It's a roller coaster. And I don't have all the answers. It's a wave, like ride the wave, man. You know what I'm saying? I do hear, like, I feel what you're saying, but like if you know all the statistics about, say, what's breaking down, like you seem to know, like, see how many this people did that, he was doing this, and shout out to all those people who have been locked down innocently and shit like that. And the people, unfortunately, who have been just bamboozled by the system and don't know, and got like incriminated by false, like something they said that, they got looped out by what the police kept saying to them or whatever. And then when it came to the court,
A broken wrist, a broken shoulder.
Be aware. I'll say this actually. So like, I used to type it into the chat. Like, be aware of the jurisdiction in your local area. That's right. I think, But anyway.
No? So I rather see a better people. I rather see a better justice system, and I rather see a people which have the right to assemble and the right to talk. While now all your rights are neglected, and people are placed in front of their TV with a bullshit narrative.
Yeah.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. It will be better, but just wait. And now we're waiting 1 year and it didn't get any better. While they promised us it was going to get better every time. I'm sorry to shout. The first time Trump, he was talking, he said, oh, this will be finished in 3 weeks or 1 month. No, it was never going to stop. They all planned to do this for 1 year. Or longer. And like these people, like you are showing, this Sadhguru, it's an agent. Maybe it's not a police officer, but it's a person who talks with a propaganda. It's like you have, for example, sexual education in school, and like in Belgium, we have a kind of a sexual education on the TV with a fake doctoress. Huh? And for 30 years, it's the same woman. And she always talk about sex on the TV, always talk about sex on the radio. And it's the only woman from the whole country people know as talking about sex. You understand what I mean, Sunray? It's a controlled
Yeah, right.
narrative.
So they're trying to just put one person's agenda in for a long time, but that's great. Like, I mean, and even
Yeah,
so, like, but they these things will be, and they will be, man. They're out of your control. So what, man? And you know all about it. That's the sad part, to me, anyway. Like,
same with AIDS.
you're very like wide clued up on what they're doing,
People
but these people are
they are
gonna be
afraid
what
for
they are.
AIDS.
We know they're bad. They're gonna be what they
So
be,
you are wearing
and
rubbers
it's
when
out
you
of
have
your
sex with the
control.
girl. So you don't enjoy
What?
the sex with the girl with your rubbers. Huh?
Oh my God! Come on,
Yeah,
man. Listen, but
that's fucked up. Yes, but the whole country does this. Huh? The whole world is wearing rubbers for having sex. Huh? That's the reality. Huh? And have you ever seen people with AIDS around you? No, but you're protecting yourself with rubbers. Huh? And you're preaching the same things to these children. Yeah, you should wear
yes,
rubbers. You should
actually, I
have
have,
safe
bro.
sex.
I have. I don't know. So yes, you probably. I don't know where you made. Like, I have seen a few. I have. I've been in places with people. Like, I've been in contact with people who've had HIV and AIDS. So, uh,
Me, I don't believe
like,
in the AIDS virus. Sunray.
yeah,
For me, it's all
come on.
uh, yeah. For me, it's all birth control. Huh? Yes, and it's a propaganda. Huh? If the TV they didn't show you, you wouldn't even know. Huh? Because the TV told you so many times. Now you think you have an idea, Sunray, about HIV. But in reality, you are not medically educated. Huh?
The fuck?
So,
What the?
so what
What?
makes it? What makes it? You are a stupid man, huh? Because
What?
you
No,
think you
not
know
at all.
something, but you're brainwashed by a TV,
Not at all,
and
bro.
you
I don't
think you
even
know
watch
something
TV.
about
I don't
HIV.
even watch TV. I don't even watch TV.
So you don't know anything about HIV, and that's the reality. So don't make like you know something.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? You said, have you been in contact with anybody with HIV? And I thought about it. And I mean, there's many people around the world, obviously, who have been. And I thought about it for a second. And yes, I did know a few people back in Brisbane, where I was from, you know? So,
Well, the same with the
um,
coronavirus. It's not a coincidence, Sonray, that when the coronavirus started, all these celebrities they came out with they are having coronavirus. All these fucking celebrities, they all had coronavirus before the people had coronavirus. You do see the way they are swindling people, huh? But in
yeah, of
reality,
course,
people
man.
they don't
Of
know. They
course,
don't
bro.
have a
I see it.
medical
The way you're
education.
saying it, I mean, I've been saying that, like, I don't know, it's like World War III in
Yeah,
slow motion at the
we
moment.
get hoaxed.
You know what
We
I mean?
get hoaxed, and now we call it HIV, but we don't know nothing, and we are not protected. And the rubber it doesn't work, and the pills for the young females it doesn't work. It changes their hormone system. No, all these fake solutions for fake problems are not good situations. That's my opinion, Sonray. And people they are too
Of
stupid,
course, man.
and
That's
they
you just
cannot get
double
organized to
negating
get
it.
really intelligent. Like if you want the people to have some more rights, then you need, in a way, you already need lawyers, because the people themselves, they are too stupid because they don't know their rights. So that's the situation, and you are millions of people in the same situation, too stupid to know your rights. It's not a good situation. I'm just fearful, that's all.
But then what about your rights of moving out to somewhere else out of the past 12 years? You said you've been locked down for this place, and I'm saying, so thankful. You should be thankful of that. You know, you've had a roof for that long and sustained that place and been there. But like, you know, you said you've been locked there, trapped down. You have the opportunity to, in those 12 years, to move out.
Fast forward, many people died here, Sunray. Fast forward, many people
Okay,
died
everything's
in 12
different
years.
now. I suppose it's a lockdown. You can't do. I mean, it's all changed. Shit. Sorry.
When social housing, these are
I've got it.
very tiny apartments, maybe 40 square meters, and a lot of people, they come and they will die here. Yes. Me, I came here when I was like 28. Now I'm almost 40. Huh? So time flies. But social housing is not a good situation. And like in this city, Ghent, it's their system to, when they want to change a housing, then they make everyone move the same time to change this housing, to rebuild this housing. So it's always people with thousands of hundreds of people, they have to move same time. So I might have lived here 12 years, but when they are deciding we want to renovate the building, we all have to move when they say move. And like many times, you start with, for example, I came here paying like 200
You make it so
euro,
much of a we and them situation, though, bro. All the
and now
time.
I have to pay
Everything's
300
a we,
euro.
them. Who is we and who is them? Like, you know what I mean? It's I don't know.
You have
I'm getting a bit like I'm
corporations,
gonna keep
you have
this.
the
I'm going. I
corporations,
hope
and
people.
you
I
have the
wish other
people.
people come up, but nobody else has come up, and you know. But I told you because I have a you know I'm trying for you up here, bro. But it's just you know I don't know. Like yeah, I see what you're saying. A lot of people are in that for their life, man. In the government housing for their whole, and they should be thankful for that. Though I think in a lot of ways because they at least they've got a place, and they have been locked in a. You know, I mean not locked in a place, but they've got a place like locked in for so long. Unfortunate, you know, and it's at a cheap price. Like that's you know, if they're getting benefits or whatever it may be. But I think everybody's busting out. I think I don't know. It's all good. Thanks for everyone for coming through, bro.
I'm just saying, Sunray, we have a social country, and many people, they like benefit from a social system. You don't have this social system, but in Belgium we have a social system, so the poor, they get small housing, but your rights are very poor. And like cigarettes, they raise our price for cigarettes, and like this year for 50 grams of tobacco we will have to pay 11 euros.
Yeah, no, well, I understand the thing about Australia has the worst. Like we have this, like every 6 months it goes up 60%. So yeah, like over here,
Crazy, what?
what did
Crazy,
you say?
what?
What did you say? It was for
Well,
11 grams.
For 50 grams of tobacco, we pay 11 euros.
11 euro. Okay, so over here that thing is about I think maybe 35, maybe $45. So 11 euro would be maybe $20 to $30. I mean, 11 euro might be $25 or whatever. I'm not sure. Maybe a bit less.
For example, a person in Belgium, he receives like €1,000 every month.
Yeah, and that's at a minimum, man. But there are people earning more out there.
Yeah, so we don't catch $52,000 every year. No, we catch maximum 12,000 in a social housing, social benefit system. And it's also called like a poverty line. We are just below a poverty line, you know. We can buy our food, we can buy our drinks, but we don't
You
have good
obviously exist within the black
transport.
market too. You obviously do that too because you must be knowing about it, and you exist among it. So you should make your way through it as well. You know, if you're in this situation of government housing, because that's an obvious thing. Because a lot of other people do earn more, as you know, but as you're saying, at a minimum set, they get this €1,001 per month. But you know,
and the rent is, for example, 300. So you have 700 left.
Yeah.
And like my friend, he's living in a new social housing, and he started there for 300, for example. But now this year they changed from a 300 to 400 for his rent. So they lure him into that housing, and then they raise the rent with more than 10% of your monthly income. You understand that?
Yes.
And that's what's happening to us people, you know. That kind of system they are putting on us here. And we cannot do much about it. But I'm just saying it frustrates me that we don't get a good social housing, that we don't get good systems, and that they are profiteering so much of the poor people. Because most of this country is poor people.
Most of the country is poor people, would you say? See, like, and this is okay. I would like to hear the actual, or find out the statistics or whatever, because it's still a first world country, right? So everybody's still living at a decent standard of life. They have a very nice living standard. So you might say a lot of people are poor. I don't know how the distribution of wealth is, may not be fair, but nobody's starving.
Last time. I told you there were many like Turkish and Moroccans also living here, taking jobs, and they make pressure for the population also, because we are losing jobs. We are losing
right, but these are the people that I'm talking about. Like you were saying, like they're the people who are getting involved in the black market and taking advantage of this waste. These are the things that they obviously see coming in, same as somebody who's in these commissioned housing or a migrant who's just trying to make it as any way they can. So that's what's happening, man. They're getting up and they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're getting up and being about it. Kind of.
It's very difficult to explain you, Sunray, but you understand a little bit how our situation in Belgium or in this city in Ghent, how the situation is with all many people, but not enough homes. And
say that again. in Kent,
Many people,
Belgium.
but not enough homes. And the government that restricts building homes. You understand? There's many people in Belgium, but we don't have enough homes. And the government, they restrict the building of new housings. You understand, Sunray?
Okay. So is there a very high homeless rate? Or does everybody live in these government housing situations?
Voila, they
Or
are pushed into social housing systems.
I missed what you said there, bro. They're
The
pushing
poor
social
people are
housing something.
pushed into social housing systems. Yeah? They are pushed in the system, so they will never own a house. And so the market is from those people
Many
who
people.
can afford to buy up the market. So you have businesses have thousands of homes, while one person, he don't have his own home.
Do you have
But
any
you have
brothers and sisters? Do you have any brothers and sisters, bro?
one brother, one sister.
Right. Now, are they, I don't know, do they have a house of their own?
I have
Or
seen
have
my
they?
sister one time in the last year, and I didn't see my brother in the last year. But normally I see them many times a year. Huh?
No, I'm asking you a question about them. Like, they've
To come
obviously
to the
grown up in.
question from the housing, we were three children, grown up with a single mother, divorced from her father, and we didn't have a house as child. And we grew up, we all educated, but then my family had a car accident. My brother crashed his car, had a coma accident, and became handicapped.
Whoa.
So
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay.
that was a real difficult time for my family.
Of
And
course.
then my mother, she understood that she didn't have the money to provide for us homes. So in a way, she pushed my brother into the hands of the government or the society's benefits to provide for him help because she couldn't carry the load. And like this, the parents, they push their children into social housings. So my brother, he's living social, I'm living social, and my sister, she got a boyfriend where she make two children. So that's my situation. We don't really have homes. For my generation, only my sister, because she married a guy, have a good job and a good parents, make him able to buy a house. But it's all far
Yeah.
from my town.
But it is it's not there's a big step from just going to from nowhere to buy a house. You there's a saving, there's a lot of saving to do, and then there's a lot of paperwork to go through. And this is financial literacy that these people need to attain and obviously don't, who are the ones who are referring to at the moment, who you were saying are constantly going into social housing and forced into social housing. They need to realize these things about the world, I guess, in their situation.
Well,
You know what I mean?
like you are pushed
But
into
and
social
still,
housing, you are pushed to accept benefits from a certain institution. And they give you that €1,000 every month, like a social benefit. You get free money, but you don't really have a good life. Similar to the stimulus check. You get your money, you can survive that month, but you're not gonna
it's up
buy
to
a house
you
with that
though. What
money.
do you?
You're not
Oh,
gonna
okay,
get a
no.
loan with this money.
I mean,
And what you are talking about, Sunray, is, for example, probably in your country there's still small housings or small lands you can buy for very little money. Yes or no?
No, yeah, like I mean, yes and no. It's not very little
Well,
money, and
in
it's
my country,
not like anybody can. You need to have a certain amount of savings, and you need to have just be able to show that you can have a legit way of paying this viably and surviving for the next amount of years that you lock it in for, or the amount that it is. Uh, so like yeah,
in my
you need to.
country, Sunday, the housings was very cheap, like in the 90s. Housing, garages, everybody was able to buy this in the 90s. But now we are after 2008, the prices, they are maybe double. Like for a housing, an apartment, you already pay 100,000 euro. And for a house, you have to go over 200,000 euro. And if you understand, you can get 1,000 euro every month. You're not going to reach a 200,000 euro to buy a house. And before, they had a lot of small things that were for sale, but all the rich people bought up all the lands, bought up all the small housings, and now all prices are fixed. So you don't find any cheap housings anymore. We are that concentrated country. And for example, you have a lot of free lands for agriculture, but there you cannot build a house by law. You have a lot of terrains for industry, but there you cannot build a house by law. You understand? So they put the places where you can build houses, and they put places where you can't build houses. So we get restricted in house building. They don't allow people to just build new housings. No, they want these big projects for 100 apartments, the high buildings. That's what the future is bringing for this city. That's the Chinese model. Pack 'em and stack 'em. For example, before in the 90s, you find a garage maybe 7,000 euro. Now you don't find any garages below 42,000 euro. So that's a serious difference of price.
Of course, though. That's a very obvious thing, brother. Don't you think?
That's 6 times more expensive.
Inflation, man. It's increasing.
Because yes, and for example, in my neighborhood, we have not much parking space, and they just started like 2 years ago to divide the city into parking space areas with the color. So it means they are charging people money to park, not in the city center, but outside the city center. Because I live north side of the city, but now here we also have to pay for parking. And there's not enough car parking in the street. So now what does the city do? They are placing these iron bars to fit bikes, to park your bike in every street. So they are targeting the free spaces to park your car with these new bars for parking bikes. So people, they have to park their car maybe 2 streets further. It's really absurd what they are
All
doing
right.
to
Just
people.
gonna shout out to Bronze Flat Power God. Thanks, man, coming through and commenting. I mean, a bit off topic, but
I think that's about it, Sunray, my talk.
Say what?
About Belgium. I say that's about my talking about Belgium. It's all. I don't can help you much more. I think.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, that's cool. But like, I mean, it was difficult to hear. I mean, you know, the amount of lockdown you're going through, but you know, I think I've got a lot of things to say. I just feel like as I say to um, what I've heard about the Leopold or Emperor Leopold, the first one, like what he did. Maybe it's just like all coming back, man. Like karmic energy, bro, and vibes. You know what I'm saying? Because he did some atrocious things, right?
Well, it's one part of history, yeah, but there's other parts. Like you are living uh, in Australia, so you're not too far from East India, for example. East India. And there before used to be Holland companies.
Right.
So
Yeah. Say that
we
again.
lose before, for example, you have Indonesia, for example, East India.
Okay. Yes. It used to be the Dutch East India, the Dutch company. Yes.
Voilà.
Okay.
So
Yes. Yes.
we
Yes.
lose this. We lose our internationality in this time. For example, in 1900, I
What
think
does that have to do with
1900,
Belgium? I mean, like Leopold, what I just said.
like in 1900, you are making sound there, Sunray. Like in 18 or 1920 something, we had in Ghent, in this city, like you had in Paris, a world fair, to have all the world come to this city, like an international fair in Ghent. And that time they was building castles, they was building palaces, not only for us people, but also for Africans, for English, for French, and all these things. They were putting these palaces inside my city. And 15 years later, they break all these palaces down and they put new villa there. You understand? So this is what happened in my city. I can show you pictures of that, of where people, they had a palace, and now 100 years later, there's no palace anymore. They disappear. In 100 years, they make disappear big palaces in my city. And for example, you was talking about Leopold, about the history, and it's all the same. You think that for example, we are doing this, but it's your government, your rulers who make us do this. And we don't have a brain because we are blind, we are stupid, and we are deaf. And they teach us this in school, to be blind, deaf, and stupid. So we don't know what's going on with our country and who's working in name of our country in another country. Like you have a feeling, you know, some Belgian companies maybe in Australia, but don't think that any of these profits goes to us as a people.
You keep cutting out a little bit at the end. I don't understand
The
the way
same
you're
like
talking.
if you buy things from China, it doesn't mean the money will flow back to the people from China. No, you have a corrupt government in charge, and the people are blind, stupid, and deaf. So you can make them do really stupid things, because they don't know about nothing, and they get easily manipulated. You talk about F-35s. about Belgium. They have to buy new airplanes, but the United Air Force says they're bad planes because they have a lot of flaws. Yeah, and this it goes to the TV. You know, it's not information. No, it's brainwashing. It makes people believe that you have airplanes and that you have a military, but it's all bullshit. You don't know nothing about your military. Like I say, you don't know nothing about HIV. No, it's just all brainwashing. You don't get real information. And the same about Leopold and the history of the Congo. You get a version, a narrative of the history, but you don't know what happened there. But what you do know is that the Belgian people, were not responsible. Governments, yes. Rulers, yes. But not the people. They're just doing what they are told. Like cutting forests. Like building roads. Like building train tracks. In 100 years, they put train tracks all over this country. And they didn't have any shortage of money to buy up all these lands to build their railroads. That time. And now, again, these trillionaires, they are paying them, so they don't have a shortage of money to buy up whatever they want. Like a Bill Gates or a Bezos or a Soros or the Bilderberg Group. These are the people responsible for the situation.
What about them though, bro? What about them though? Are you gonna? Is there any way? I mean, you know, like I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna be what they're gonna be, man. And hopefully, they, you know, they don't eventuate into much power and whatnot. But like, like they're gonna be. They're out of it's out of your control, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so
but it's the study make you realize that, and if you say you don't know, you don't know, but if you know something, you do know something, Sonray. But to be blind, deaf, and stupid is not a good start, also,
why not? Well, it
And
depends.
if
Hey,
you
it
don't
depends how
accept
you
you are
perceive
blind,
things.
stupid, and deaf, you are living in denial. You think you are somebody, you think you know something, you think you see something. I know you are in denial because you're blind, deaf, and stupid.
Mm-mm. I'm just
In a
taking
way,
this as like
I
I don't
don't
know.
mean
I
it
just took it
personally.
as a yeah, but I'm taking this as a perceptual thing. If you're saying that, so you just said blind, deaf, and dumb. So
And
you can't
stupid.
see, you can't hear, and you can't speak. So your other
Voila,
senses, your sense of
lockdown.
touch, and your sense of feel. So what are the five? Sight,
Yeah, and
taste. So
they hypnotize
your
you with
sense of
numbers.
taste and your sense of feel would be so extreme, and it's like, yeah. But anyway,
And they hypnotize you with numbers. For example, they say you have 35 airplanes, 35 fighter jets, but it's just a number. You don't know how many planes the Air Force has. You don't know how many bases there are underground. No, we are living in a need to know society, and we don't need to know nothing. And they don't teach you in the schools about reality. They are teaching you the perception they want you to believe.
mm.
Like
Well, the
we are.
curriculum is obviously designed for the narrative of the society that's been
Voilà.
thriving
They
and that
want you
you
to
enter
believe
to.
we stopped slavery. They want you to believe that we stopped children had to forced labor. We all stopped this. No, it's bullshit. We didn't stop this. It's just a narrative to make you believe that you're free from it. But if you understand how stupid you are, you know you're not free from slavery and child labor. And it's happening all around you because the children, they don't have the rights for a housing and they get tricked into bad contracts. While if you are honest, Sunray, you know you don't make a house, it doesn't take too long to build it. Huh? If you have the bricks. But 40 years no house, it means you didn't have 2 years to build your own house. It's not a good social society. Huh? They don't get the rights for the newborns to get them a house when they're 18. No, when you're 18, you are forced labor. If you catch my drift. Same with
Yeah.
prostitution or commercial entities. They brain drain the people. They take the smartest people to put them in the biggest corporations. They give them nice car. But now all people are dumb because the smartest people, they pay them and they took them out of that city. So now you are not only fighting artificial intelligence, but also the smartest people of the country strategizing against the total community for profits. And this whole corona thing is a power grab. It's a grab of power. The power we lose, we will never get it back.
Yeah, of course, man. That's right. So you should wake up. Don't wake up to that, but obviously you're hip to
Then,
that fact, but you try to think, you should be aware of it and be just moving with the flow of it. So, and I don't think, because it still seems as you're just going to bust in a consistent, like rather huge points that are, definitive and in part of society's makeup and shape, whatnot, and have characteristics towards it, but still, man, like there'd be that just be about it and be fresh, man. I like I'm starting to think it's just
I,
because I don't like the thing when people think, oh shit, man, it's all over. It's all over. It's fucked up, man. Everything is fucked up, bro. Everything is
it's
fucked,
kind of
bro.
fucked up,
Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Fuck it, I mean, I'd be like, fuck them all day. Fuck the government. You know how I live. Shit, like and it's how
Well,
how I'm at. I'm
it's
doing it,
fucked
but I
up in the
still
way you
believe
don't have a nice future to believe in.
That's the. What do you mean? But say what? That's you. That's you just doing it
It's fucked up
yourself.
because you
You're
don't
doing
have
it
a
yourself.
good vision. You don't see where it's going. Before people had vision, they know where the society is moving to, and they chose the parties, and the parties were kind of correct to what the people
Oh,
wanted.
so before you're saying before like in what are you talking about? Like maybe 100 years ago, before in Europe when everything was being like all the money and
I'm
economy was
talking
being
about the
run off the
80s,
backs of
the
the other people
90s,
around the world. No,
the
no, no, no.
30s.
You wait the fuck up. Where you wait? Nah, that ain't right, brother. When this is the time you're thinking when these people are living in fine civilization, because supposedly, and they could read and have the education and do all these things and breaking their all different European languages, But where did the economy get breaking off, man? The backs of all the indigenous people who were like laboring the industry all over the world, sugarcane being probably the most predominant one in the past 50 years, and still consistently today it goes to that. So sugarcane, this was especially, the people wanted to live that way, and these are the people that you're talking about. So don't, like, they're living all right, man. They're still living all right. They're still doing good, and so are the people that are generationally under them, brother. You can't say that because you think about the other side of the coin, man. To me, because that's like what we were just saying, because that's where it's all come from. Where is all that? And as you said, and the same thing with the opium wars. England is different country. Barclays Bank. You're saying about the Dutch East India Company or whatever the Dutch company, how it was. Barclays, they funded all their money from the opium wars. So basically, that's how they've established themselves. And they existed like the Barclays Bank. So that's in the Barclays Center for people who are in America. They're obviously familiar with that. Only worldwide, they'd be familiar with that place. So, like, this is just what it is, man. These people are out there, and they've done these ruthless things. So, like, and they're just part of the world. They say that, like, we're supposed to be nice, we're supposed to be cordial towards people, or cordial, or whatever the word, like, towards people, and respectful, talk nice, and have respect, do these things. But then at the same time, if you're talking the curriculum and you wanted to break into, like, society and this supposed, to make the money or to go into the hierarchy, then that's just the way, it's a different way.
Like around 2000, Sunray, many things in Europe, they changed because we started with one currency in 2000. And from that time, a lot of things changed. You had the 9/11 attack, you had the war in Iraq. And from that time, in the whole world, a lot of situations changed. The energy prices skyrocket. The markets, they're all manipulated. But before the 2000, we had a good time. You could buy a car, you could buy benzene, you could drive France.
Of course, right. Okay, yes. But that's gone. That is gone. That's 20 years ago, 21 years ago, bro. Like, it's good to you if you want to fantasize on that. You know what I'm saying? I do realize what you're saying, though. I completely go with your narrative. I completely hear what you're saying.
In 2004, three more countries joined Europe: Estland, Letland, and Lithuania. 3 countries joined Europe in 2004. So Europe was still growing. And then after that,
say that again. Say those 3 countries again, please, bro.
Like Estland, Letland, and Lithuania or something in your language, Lithuania.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So we're in the eastern
Eastern Europe countries.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
So, and from that time, Europe, it changed, because now they had a poor side where they could put all the jobs that side for cheap labor, and now they can sell to the rich side. And then you had the bank crisis, maybe in 2008, 2009, a big banking energy crisis. You see, this is all programmed and to get bigger bankings, to get bigger businesses. They all merge into a bigger unit. That's what Europe, that's what America is about, that's what China is about. Big units. And they are more rich than my small country. They have more income than my country of 11 million people. So the corporations, they become 1,000 more richer than they used to be. So now that they are using this power to change what they want to see in the world, yeah, it becomes apparent what is their wanting for us. And it's not a good society where we will all have housing. No, it's a system like a class system, like in India, where you have bosses and where you have people. You know? And then Britain, they went out of Europe. It's also orchestrated. It's all designed to create confusion, to create an unstable Europe with too many problems and too many people, too many nationalities, too many languages. And many people, they want to exit Europe, but they can't exit Europe anymore. And they're talking about European armies. And we already have European airplane services like Eurowings. So now Europe exists. Commercial entities will start to be generated as big as Europe. Hello? Like you have a AB InBev, and that's a Belgian company. But now they are no longer real Belgium. No, they're internationally, and they're into alcohol sales in Africa, in India.
Yes, sorry, but excuse me, I was just like out for a bit.
So it's the centralization of power, and it's continuing.
Yeah. So where are you gonna fit in that, bro? Where are you gonna fit in that?
Oh, I'm almost 40 years old now, Sonray. So for me, I had a good life, and I will have maybe 40 more years. I'm not in the situation. I don't had already a good life. But people who start now, they don't have that good life I had. Let's agree to that. That new people now, they don't have the opportunities to get a real honest job, an honest education, an honest living. No, they get scrambled and they get hooked, and they will never succeed in having their own properties. Because there's too many old people and they're profiteering from the young people. It's a grey society. But I'm lucky, Sonray, for example, there's an old man in my neighborhood and he gave me opportunity. He have a greenhouse, or he's renting a greenhouse, and he let me use that greenhouse. So this year I can start doing some plantings, I can start some seedings, I can make some food for myself, but it's a temporary thing. And without the old man, I would not have that opportunity. But for me, it's something I have that will inspire me to have a better life.
Right. That's right. I think you should be very thankful for that. And
When I can eat my own food.
Power to that. Make the most of it, and make it prosperous and like flourish.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it's so fucked up, Sunray. Really, I'd make the best of it, but
What
it's
do you mean
really
it's so
fucked up.
fucked up? That's you're just saying that that's not fucked up because you just got a great opportunity, brother.
It's like
And to
people
make
and
it
hunger.
flourish. And it's gonna be bit of hard work. It's gonna be very lot of work. It's gonna take time. You're gonna have to nurture the food that you do. Make sure you give it enough, nourishment and sunlight and whatever it needs. And then take time, and then hopefully, if you for sure, if you take care of it, it'll grow properly. And
Yeah, but
hopefully, it'll grow.
for a few years only. It's not for a long time. It's just going to be 1 year or maybe 2. And then that greenhouse will be broken down, sold, and they will build new apartments there also. That's how it goes, man. You have small window of opportunity, and in a few years it will be gone.
Yeah, no, we'll get that's great. So if you know the whole plan, work it out, bro. I make the most of those few years and plan for what's coming ahead. At least do the best, or just do whatever you want. Live in the moment, or just sit there and let it all fly by. I mean,
my idea is to do guerrilla
shout out to Rashad Ellis.
Like a guerrilla planting around in the nature. I will plant some plantings and I will try to put them in nature, so that when I go to nature, I will always find my plantings.
Right.
And like, for example, the Coca-Cola herb. I'm planting Coca-Cola herb. This year I already have 10 plantings, but this year I want to make from 10 to 100 plantings, so that whenever I wanted to drink a Coca-Cola tea, I will have my plantings to make it.
Yeah, that's great.
No, I'm not hooked on the Coca-Cola. I'm not hooked on the Marlboro cigarettes. I'm not hooked on the Burger King and the McDonald's. I'm not hooked on that crap. Huh? And many Americans, they're all hooked to that shit. So, they're not really smart. If you're drinking Coca-Cola, you're not a smart person.
No.
Or like these energy drinks. If you're drinking Golden Power energy drink or Red Bull, you're not a smart person. For example, Sunray, some alcoholists, they want to drink a beer, but after they finish one beer, they can't say, I'm going to stop drinking. No, they keep drinking beer until they're wasted. That's alcoholism. And the same, like you have alcoholism, you have people watching TV, they watch one program, but after this program, they can't stop watching the TV. And they keep watching that fucking TV. Right or wrong?
Yeah. So it is, you know.
Yes, but you don't have this. You don't suffer
Peace
this.
and power.
So make sure you don't suffer this. Make sure you're not victimized by TV or by fast food or by all this crap they are pushing to people. Huh?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. I know I'm not. Like, you know, so I'm fine. Like, I don't, I'm, you know, and I'm not stressed about it. I don't eat it. I eat at home most, like, you know, so
Yeah, all
all good
right.
food. So,
Good to you, Sunray.
yeah, no, that's right, man. Because, you know, that's the most important thing. Like, I don't know, eat like real birds, but like, you know, I try to eat healthy and because it's better to, it's fuel for your body. It's like fuel, you know. Put the premium things in and put the bullshit in. It's fuel
Yeah,
for your
well.
human body.
So if you're living in a big city, like here, 300,000 people, it's very difficult to escape that kind of grid that pushes people into that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. Alright. Well, anyway.
But I'm trying. I go to nature a lot. You see sometimes my videos. I go nature still, and I will continue going to nature to find my relaxation.
Mm. Right. That's good. That's a good idea. Nature's the way. For sure.
I,
You
I
should
film the
take a step back.
sunrise,
Okay.
sunsets, rainbows, the animals.
Yeah, man. That's right. We should all like um be we should all like um take I think take a step back towards nature and like stop looking towards the new new technology that you know that needs to be out there, the new up to date thing and be fresh with it, you know, and supposedly convenient for you, but we need to just change our living standard a little bit and you know think of Mother Nature and what it's given us and how great it is and who gives it to us and where we draw all these things from and what these things are that you know these technological pieces that um, make it all convenient for us. So you know we need to understand that part of it, and so you know, but it all comes down to the earth. All these things are drawn from minerals in the ground and how, like you know, obviously, just yeah, how the earth works is how these things run because they do from frequency. So for the wind picked up in the reception in the ether or whatnot. Just take time to relax, you know, de-stress, find your, you know, just be you, feel yourself, you know, content and try and find like yeah, man, as they say, just find that inner vision. May it be from your primary school when you're very young and innocent, or could be forward to the future, you know. But you just, I think, or just be and float into wherever it's at, man.
Cool. And don't get fooled by the wrong people. Huh? Make sure that when you're going with people, they care for you. Huh? They're not planning to profit from you.
That's
If you
right,
go
of
with
course,
people,
bro. You know,
Because
that's a
there are
very
good
good
people.
thing. You know, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit of negativity coming from there, so I'm trying to keep positive. Anybody else wants to hop up, that'd be awesome. Just click the link is in the top of the chat. But if not, that's cool. I'm going to try and keep this stream going as long as possible. So, but it's, you know, it's whatever it is. It's peace. I didn't think you knew. I recognized what was happening. Like, but that's right, man. Don't like, but you should, you know, be aware of that. You
Yeah,
shouldn't even be
because
thinking of that, really. Those sort of
yes,
things. To like, you know, because
because
if you
even
think
your
of it,
mother,
that's when these things will occur and be in your environment. Be aware of it, but stay clear from those first signs and the inceptions and the instinctful moments you think it's going to go bad. Trust that, and then don't go through, you know, and don't let that bad thing happen or that situation of them profiting off you and rah rah rah. Don't let that happen at that moment, because step by step too. It's not, you know, it might not just be one swipe. It's like step by movement up to until they do that last swipe. So, you know,
yes, because even your mother or your
it's not.
father, they might appear to be on your side. But if you don't communicate good with your parents, you don't know if they're really on your side. And I think in Belgium, it's a real problem to get the parents on your side because they care more for their own comfort than for your life sometimes.
No, well, yeah, I think of course, but you know, parents give comfort for all their whole. That's right. They would give their most parents would say. I guess you could say sometimes because that's right. A lot of this different situation, but they give everything for their child and their family and the progression of their
For
um,
example, they work 30 years
family
hard,
unit.
but for their own children, they didn't work even one day.
For
But
who?
for society, they work hard, 30 days, day in, day out. But for their own children, they didn't even work one day.
Who was that?
You
Did
know,
you say?
I say many people, parents, they work very hard for 30 years, day in, day out. They go to their jobs, they work hard, they come back, they're tired, they eat, they go back to work. 30 years long. But for their own children, they didn't even work one day. You understand what I say?
Boy, yeah, I do actually. I do understand what you're talking about, bro. Like, you know, how the disparage and the indifference between how, you know, people live and the standards that, you know,
Yes,
that
exactly.
exists. And there's a lot of wastage too on, you know, the end of these people of first world.
And most
And
of the time, you think your parents, they are there to guide you. And when you're child or when you're young, they pretend like, yeah, when you're old, we're going to help you. You'll never be homeless. But when you're 18 years old, they get a different attitude and they say, oh, go your way. And that's not a correct way for parents to behave to their children, to go your way. No, parents, they should protect their children, and their children's life should be worth at least as much as the parents' their life. And there should be a good discussion how these children will respond.
you should, yeah, no, I think, yeah, you will know, follow your intuition, go with your gut instinct, man. So to me, that was a bit lack of a tyrant on which way to do it, man. Trust your instincts. We all come from different angles, different environments, different, you know, situations. We all have different experiences. So, but follow your instinct. Do the best thing. We all know what's right, what's wrong. We have the choice, man. You do what you do. And think before you move. There's many steps to the game.
All right, Sunray. Peace.
All right, brother.
Good talk.
You're gonna be out. Well, thanks much, man. Thanks much for coming through, bro. Was good for talking. I hope things get better in Belgium, bro. That was my from
I'll keep following you.
way. Okay.
Big up, Sunray.
Yeah, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, brother.
Go for it.
Shout out.
Peace
Take
out.
care.
Ciao.
Peace. All right. So that was my brother Marv from Belgium. Thanks for him for coming up, man. But explaining, he did come out with some like points where he was, sad about, not sad, like quite sad, but it was shocking. Like they're still under strict lockdown over there in Europe. In that, I think it's Kent, something like that in Belgium. Which is, that's not, it's like over in Australia, we're experiencing some, like, we're pretty much, like, it's not good, everything's great, but we're allowed to go out of the house and do our work and go to shops and things like that at any time. So at the moment, and in most states, there was one state which had some pretty hardcore breaking down, revolutions and stuff like that. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody who's here. I was going to try and keep this stream going for ages tonight. I'm just like, I would appreciate if anybody is out there, if you have time. I think the link should be pinned in the top of the chat. If you just click it, it can come up. But like, just have your words. So I don't know what I might like. What I'll do. Let's go with this at least. Like yeah. But what's that? Just pay the button. Nah. I'll put some tunes going on in the background because that's just the way to do it. So I'm like, I don't give this a break, man. Like this is something that I made, and it's out there on SoundClick. Little Brother Tamil LBT679. Just real rough recording, but in remembrance of a great man. Track Eddie Quickie, my boo. So I'll play a few to see how it goes down. Rest out for a bit. Right? Everyone comes up, we'll play the thing.
Huh. 80L, that's Brazil City, where I'm at. Go to the Fiji. Yo. 80 Marble. Let me say that Quickie Marble. 80 Marble. Yeah. Cookie Marble. Cookie. 80 Marble. What's the time? Man, visit this shit. Hope with the man, visit the town. Forward the tan, calling the tree, catching the tan in this land. What? Follow the fam. Lay down, pop at the left. Lay down, conquer the left. Conquer the mic, conquer the shit. Pop at the soul, but the slack. Listen to top of the trees. We didn't fall in the beat. We didn't fall into nature, just we did the property for the street and the company beats, company rap. One at the time of the corporate snap, over the time of the corporate seat, all of the crown, over the beat. Think it you wrong, life you lit. I didn't know, but the pump of the stick. You turn a blind eye for the fine side, but that all that shit that you did, all in the name. All that shit that came up all the same. Shame I can't get it, got with the facing. Tape with the tip of the ball with the facing. Turning the back and the forth with the six, and I'm moving this music like say with the pacing, like taking the flow. Quickie Marble. Whoa. Let me say Eddie Marble. Oh, oi. Quickie. quick, itty, bubble. This is the land, this is the land, this is the property from. It was his land, represents land, represents everything from. He got the borders and he got the facts. Just people poor, they get it the back. Let it define and cut it the backs. The super cold weather the back. Take the time to pump it, bang. All the style that I feel the stain. All the time that I feel that pain. From this time to be that boy that came. And I kick the door and I pick the boards. And I kick the door down and pick the boards. Like cake the counter, I can't move the bit. Take the time to like foolishness. Don't break the back, that I break the pack. Break the back, break the back.
Alright, yes, that's just a rough cut of something, and we'll probably go into another one. It's like, it's just the instrumental. It's a bit laggy. I don't know. If it's laggy for you out there, just put it in the chat. I think it's a bit laggy. I'll just stop that for a second. I might just try and reboot that back into here. Sorry for that. Yeah, peace to everybody in there, man. So there's a few more people coming in. I'm just taking a break. And I was like, yeah, that's a bit pressure. But yeah, if anyone wants to come up, hit the link. It should be pinned in the top of the chat. I'm just doing the stream on the car. I'm trying to keep it up, keep going at that. It's gonna go for a long time over this might be up for the night. Because if you listen to the beginning of it, I had some things to say about this night. Even if you think this beat is fat, it's like, I don't know. Do something. Dance around. Oh no, there's no lag, so that's cool. My internet probably, that's this job and that. Yeah, I can see it. So I could just try and cut it off a minute and then just come back in a second and it should be good. But these ones, this was a bit rough. So we'll like, we'll go like, start to rig it. That's right. And you're dancing this up. That's cool. Vibing. Just surviving, thriving, trying to do what it can, trying to be stay alive. Cannabis thriving, thriving through my veins as I'm arriving. Step on the scene, smoking, token, smelling so good. Not from Oakland, but I haven't been there prepared. And you best be aware if you are jeans from the lock, but if you are coming like Jack and the Beanstalk, trying to climb to the highest points, be that shit and light your joint. Don't disappoint yourself, come and be in that and anoint yourself and be the best when you can with enough of the influence. I'm good and the bits in the rap, taking the same. It's lag, man. And we just like, I'm gonna try one thing and cut my internet for 1 second and cut it back on. Hopefully it's this one, but yeah. Oh, now it's coming through first. I haven't got lag. Now it's still lag. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it. Okay, yeah, but it's just still weak. Weak in effect, weak not fresh, weak not bad. But should I stay up for this or stay up for long? People come down. I'll very sensually. Why is it like, to me it's full lag, this is not good. I like the way the beats come up. I like the way the drum shines. One time. Has to kick it right from the back of my mind to the front. And the change rearrange the same. But to me the beats just really glitch. So I can't get rhythm and I can't talk sense. Yeah. That's a shame. I'm gonna try and bust. I'll bust one thing to see if it's one. If I can take one of them later. Yeah, it's not this one. Which one is it? Where's this one? Okay. So like a bit different. No good for me, but anyway, okay, alright. That was cool, but a bit repetitive, yeah. But that's the job, yeah. This wasn't much, yeah. But yeah, man. I think I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm first gonna stay out of my mind. Yeah, time's flowing shortly, because I'm precisely here. Evidently, blowing on the trees so gently. And peace out, man. Thanks for everybody chilling in there. And just like rocking it out. But no matter where you at, man, what time it is. It's later around the moment. So I just hit 12:30 a.m. around my way. So, you could be just waking up in the morning, or you could be late night too. But I'm like, let's see if I break this down. Should I suffer it? I'll let this play for a bit. I'm gonna get the funk out, right? This one's good cool. Instrumental. Break it down. Time used to be the king of the rap. Nowadays wants to be the king of the trap. Why doesn't he just keep singing that? Straight front, flow, that he used to know, that he used to go. 1, 2, 3, hip hop radio. One time on the mic with a beat. Get stuck with a blessed up on the mic with a D. He's dressed up like Jester, Manifesto. 1, 2, tester, 3, 4, 5. Stay alive, do the job. Keep tribe hat. Which way you gonna fade? Which way you gonna fade?
Yeah. Check it. 1, 2, wake up, break up. 1, 9, fuck you up one time. Did the chasers with red and blue sirens, black skyline, doing plenty mileage. I shut my eyelids, visualize a mind shift. I'm up retiring on the Fijian island. Did the chasers with blue and red sirens, black skyline, doing plenty mileage. Shut my eyelids, visualize a mind shift. I'm in retirement on Fijian islands. Back in the day, I slaved for the cross. When the staple on my name, I was saved the boss. With the staple on my name, but I'm making it hot. No traces, no places, I'ma stay on the dot. It's enough upon a time, there's a plenty to be. I've been moving around like a nomad on the street. It's a definite call, mention of a bandit or illegal to want to see. Well, if evil, you be the hero, not talking no name. Won't telling no shit, not flipping no game. Won't selling no shit, but you're talking the time. It's a very darling, I will do it with the pleasure for the leisurely. Definitely for a day, definitely for the mic and shit. I'ma devastate the microphone of life and shit. I got the hype to slip, I got the right to live, I got the right to spit it for my pipe, for my lead. Did the chases for blue and red sirens, black skyline, doing plenty mileage. Shut my eyelids, visualize a mind shift. In retirement on Fijian islands. Did the chases for blue and red sirens, black skyline, doing plenty mileage. I shut my eyelids, visualize a mind shift. I'm in retirement on Fijian island. What was in the course? The type of corner property, the type of form of laws. I visualize velocity, the different manner. Missing count, going like an Uber star. Jupiter, who you are, just like a shooting star. On the mob, I was shooting the clips in the gas. I put the bars and the fits and the hits with back. We put my time, it goes to black, to black. The black, clack, 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 get back.
picture on my face, a picture on my face. The picture on me, literally distant on my place. Go Hillary, literally lifting on my case. Got pictures on my visit when I went to prison state. Got into a new time, resting on my leave. Calling me a number, but I wanted to leave. I'll be going like a vessel, I'll be boiling like a kettle. I'll be very hot to wrestle when I got a piece of metal. Did the chases with blue and red sirens. Black skyline, doing plenty mileage. Shut my eyelids, visualize the mind shift. I've been retiring on Fiji and islands. Did the chases with blue and red sirens. Black skyline, doing plenty mileage. Shut my eyelids, visualize the mind shift. In retirement on the Fijian islands. Fuck with you senti, kama pula minaka. Nisema pumatai. Kana, wanna type in the form. Puma separate me more than.
Bobbing down, doing the thing. In it for the profit, in it for the brush, in it for the blush, in it for the lust, in it for the beat, in it for the sweet, in it for the rap to the right bar, in it for the run, in it for the bass, in it for the intellectual, in it for the intercept, in it for the tape, in it for the win. This is where I spin. Get it like a boy, B-boy, take. No, I just rock that back. Hold up, wait up, let me take it. Yeah, the beats is glitching on everything by himself. I better just be quiet. I better just. There. Much peace, hey. Pups out, man. I'm probably gonna slide out and do the thing. I wanted to keep going on, staying up, but I think the situation might call for a confrontation. But blessings out, power out to everybody of the energy. I might come slide through again because I will be awake. So like, stay up, stay through, stay tuned. Thank you for being here, and just be yourself, be the best you can be, man, and stay up, stay one. Tell people about this, and tell people about yourself. Be the best. Shine strong today, or then tonight, and forevermore. But see you soon, man. Hopefully to hear you guys soon.